concept. This is Dr. Bill Loveless welcoming you to our program, and thank you for listening. We're going today to talk about the management of stress, something that all of us know a lot about, at least stress, and managing stress is something we're going to talk about today. I'd like to use this cup, this 8-ounce cup, as an illustration today of what we might be doing. How much does this cup weigh relatively full? It's an 8-ounce cup. How many grams of water will it take? Oh, a couple hundred probably. If it has broccoli in it or water in it or a Slurpee in it, the weight is going to change. The exact weight doesn't really matter. What matters is how long I hold it. If I hold this cup full of water or half full of water for 1 minute, no problem. If I hold it for 5 minutes, no problem. 10 minutes, probably no problem. 15 minutes, a little heavy. If I hold it for an hour, it's going to start getting uncomfortable. If I hold it longer than that, we're going to have to call the ambulance to take care of me. So it depends not how heavy it is, but how long you hold it. And the same is true for stress. It isn't how heavy it is. It isn't how stressful it is. It's how long we hold it. This is the real problem of managing our stress. Now, there are a lot of stressors in life, and these stressors in life have undergone some changes over time. So I'm going to share with you the latest list that I was able to find. Researchers over the years have compiled different lists of how stressful life events are and have given actually a value. And so we're going to look at the most stressful event and the least stressful event. And this may not seem true for you, and it may not seem true for me, but this is what the researchers have put together as one of the latest. So let's take a look now at life's stressful events. Here we go with the stressors of life. Number 1, death of a spouse. 100 points. I mean, that's a biggie. Number 2, divorce. 73 points. Number 3, marital separation. Boy, these all have to do with relationships. You can see that, can't you? The first top 3 stressors: death of a spouse, divorce, marital separation. So relationships do matter a great deal. Here we have detention, jail, or some other institutionalized detention. Being cooped up really causes a lot of stress. The death of a close family member, major personal injury or illness. These illnesses that come to us, young or old, cause a great deal of stress. This is no question about it. This is something which stresses all of us out. Well, let's keep on going down the list. A marital reconciliation, being fired at work, marriage, major personal injury or illness, all of these have their values. I mean, and many of you who are watching this program have experienced stress through one or more of these kinds of events. Retirement from work, my goodness sake. Work is my life. Work is my meaning. My work gives me identity. I don't have my work anymore. What am I going to do? This is a very stressful time for many, many people. And this long list from 100 to 44 is actually life's stressors. These are some of life's stressors. Now, some of you who have been listening very carefully are saying to me, look, Bill, how can I deal with these by setting them down? You use the illustration of a cup with 200 grams of water in it and trying to hold it all day, and it would get very, very, very heavy. But how can I not hold these events, these life stressful events? They happen to me. They happen to my friends and my family. And, you know, it's not just like taking a cup up and saying, well, now it's time to set it down. I mean, how do you set down the death of a spouse? How do you set down divorce? How do you set down getting married? How do you set down separation? How do you set down, how do you do any of this? See, this is the problem that we really want to deal with today. So listen carefully, because in the program today, we are actually going to try to help you understand that even these life stressors which come to us can be dealt with in very, very, very creative ways. And that's what this program is all about. Now let's take a look for a minute at the limbic system, at the system that where stress actually gets processed in our bodies. The physiology of stress is a very, very interesting topic. A lot of work has been done about the physiology of stress, and we're going to look at this now. So kind of sit back and listen to me and really try to get in touch with your body. Before this program today, I went to the dentist. Oops. Routine dental visit, routine cleaning by a hygienist. Nobody was poking around in my mouth with a drill or anything that hurt much, a little scraping. And yet, when I was lying there, all of my body was kind of at attention. What I'm going to describe to you now happened to Bill Loveless today. I found myself lying back in the chair, but I was stiff. My arms were stiff. My legs were stiff. My heart wasn't pounding, but it accelerated. There was a little bit of sweat coming out on my forehead. I was ready. I was at attention, just with something as non-scary as visiting the dental hygienist to have my teeth cleaned. It was a perfect illustration of this program today, and I thought about it while I was lying there. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be taping a program, and it's going to talk about managing stress, and here I am, the guy that's supposed to know how to manage stress, lying there stressed. Well, fortunately, as you remember, it's not how heavy the cup is, it's how long you hold it. And so I got rid of that pretty fast. Now let's take a look at the limbic system. The pituitary gland, little gland right here in our neck, is the little gland that could. It secretes all kinds of interesting things. The hypothalamus, at the base of the brain, also has a lot to do with managing stress. And then the adrenal glands back there popped on top of the kidneys. These cooperate together to form a cocktail. When danger or stress arrives, all of these interesting hormones are pushed into the body. And when danger or stress arrives, these cocktails are mobilized in 8 seconds. And what happens when this takes place? All the kinds of signals that I told you about today that I had sitting in the dental chairs. When danger or stress arrives, in 8 seconds, big changes have taken place. What kind of changes? Well, we sweat, our muscles get tense, we see better, we hear better, we are mobilized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bingo! That bit of time, when we're in danger, when we perceive something stressful, our body mobilizes all the defenses. In 8 seconds, we are tense. We are dealing with stress. And how are we dealing with it is the question we want to spend most of the rest of the time on this program talking about, because this is what America needs to learn. How do I deal with these seemingly mild stressful events to these major stress events? How can I simply set these aside? Lose my job? I'm just supposed to set that aside and move on in life? No, you're not. There are ways, and we're going to talk about those ways now. When dangerous stress arrives, the liver produces more glucose. The heart rate speeds up. Boom, 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 boom. The eyes dilate. You see better. You see differently. Your hands and your feet get cold. Your hearing becomes more acute. You are ready for flight. I'm getting out of here. You are ready for fight. The flight or the fight reaction. Now you remember when stress comes to us, when we looked at the major stressors today, these major problems that stress us very much. When we look at those, it's very difficult for us to say, I'm going to set this aside now. Here's the glass, regardless of how heavy it is, I'm just going to set it aside. I'm not going to bother with it anymore. I'm just going to set it aside, and that means the stress is gone. It's not quite that easy. I wish it were that easy, but it's not. There are a couple of things that we need to think about. We need to start collaborating with ourselves to develop a more positive attitude toward life. You've heard the old statement, is the cup half empty or is it a cup half full? You can look down and feel like everything is a problem. The cup is half empty. Or you can approach life as a good place with a very simple axiom that I have developed in my own life and developed with my clients, and that is that most people in this life would rather help us than hurt us if they could. So I would like to recommend to you today that you accept that simple but very basic proposition. Most people would rather help us than hurt us if they knew how they could. Part of the time, at least, it's our job to let other people know how they might help us. Would you please help me? That's looking up instead of down. That's looking at life in a positive way. That's a point of view of life that we want to adapt. Secondly, we want to take better care of ourselves. Taking better care of ourselves means some very specific things which we're going to give you in a list. So get your pencil ready and we'll have a list for you in a few moments. But taking better care of ourselves, we're very precious in God's sight. We're very precious in the sight of our families and friends. And we need to become more precious in our own sight. The preciousness that all of us possess, even what seems to be somebody who's not very precious, somebody you don't like very well, still has a sense of preciousness about them that needs to be cultivated and taken care of. Now, there are certain kind of rules that help us take better care of ourselves. Remember, we can't just take this glass and say, okay, I'm stressed beyond belief, I just lost my job, I'm not going to worry about it anymore, I'm just going to set it down. Well, that's not a bad idea, but it's not quite that simple, because this has to happen in the setting of a lifestyle that we have developed over time. And it's that lifestyle and the management of stress that we want to spend our time on now. So get your pencils handy, because this is going to be very important for you to keep in track of as we take a look now at what we do as people to manage our stress. It's very, very important for us to cultivate a sense of humor, a sense of upbeatness in life and taking better care of ourselves. And now we take a look at a simple but very profound list. There's no question, the research in stress maintains that a regular daily regimen is very, very important. In other words, don't wait until stress comes along to decide how to take care of it. Don't wait, but start now. In other words, a regular daily regimen. So we do certain things during the course of a given day to take better care of ourselves. Remember, millions of Americans are living holding the cup all day and much of the night in their sleep. They have never learned a daily regimen. They've never learned how to set the cup down. They hold the cup. And remember, it's not how heavy the cup is, it's how long you hold it that matters. And when you hold your stress all day, and when you hold it during the night, it takes a terrible toll on your health. So we want to turn that around by saying we change our habits of holding on to our stress by developing a regular daily regimen, by doing certain things the same way every day. What are these certain things? Okay, try this. Now this is right from Herbert Benson at Harvard University. This is a very simple exercise. Practice deep breathing. Now watch me carefully. Watch me carefully. I'm going to put my hands like this, back to back, out in front of me. I'm going to fold them like this so it's opened up my chest. And I'm going to put my left foot over my right foot, so I'm sitting with my legs crossed, my hands are crossed, and I'm like this. What I'm going to do now is breathe deeply, but I'm going to breathe in a specific way. You don't have to go to the doctor to learn this. You're learning this right here on Concept today. And start doing this every day. I do this every day, 5 or 6 times. Sit up straight, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. When you breathe in through your nose, put your tongue against the roof of your mouth and breathe out through your mouth. And do it 3 times. You don't have to gasp or like this, just a normal deep breath. You've opened up your chest cavity, and now here we go. Ready? In through your nose with the tongue against the roof of your mouth. Ready? Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Oh. Ready? Inhale. Tongue against the roof of your mouth. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Oh. Oh dear, it feels so good even sitting here, and I'm on television. This is a tense situation, and I'm feeling so much better, and you should be feeling so much better. And if you do this every day, several times, can you imagine what a difference it would make? Now, there's one other item on this before we move on to the next exercise, and that is blow the tension out. Okay, watch me carefully. We're going to play like there's a lot of tension in the body. We're going to take a deep breath and literally blow it out. Ready? Inhale. Hold it. Blow. My head is connected to my lungs. I'm actually imagining, and imagination becomes real when I say the tension I feel I'm going to blow out of my body and my mind as I sit here. Ready? Once more. Inhale. Hold it. Blow. You know, this isn't rocket science. This is simple stuff. But it's good stuff. It's the kind of stuff that gets rid of tension. So practice deep breathing. Blow the tension out. Next, exercise. Now, it's going to be kind of hard sitting here in the chair in the studio to do the exercise. Tell me, all of you that are watching, I'll give it just a couple of seconds. What is the best exercise in the world for most people? Okay? Walking. Now, I realize that you might have a bad knee, you might have a bad hip, you might have a bad back, all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't and can't walk. And there are all kinds of good reasons, though, why you should walk. Because the easiest and the best exercise is walking. And it doesn't matter to begin with how fast you walk or how far you walk, but simply how much time you walk. Because everybody has a different pace. And your pace and my pace may not be the same. Swimming is good too, of course. Walking, a good pair of shoes, that's all you need. And we're ready for the daily regimen of walking. My wife and I walk 40 minutes a day, at least 5 days a week. Most of the time it's 6. Next, pursue deep relaxation. What do we mean by deep relaxation? What I mean by deep relaxation is meditation. I'm a Christian, so I practice Christian meditation. I try to fill my mind with scenes from the Scripture, the Old and the New Testament. I try to imagine a peaceful, quiet, safe place. I then combine my deep breathing with my meditation. I try to picture the invitation of Jesus to come aside to a quiet place, a place where you can contemplate peaceful things, a place where you can contemplate safe things, a place where you can contemplate quiet things. This is what we mean by deep relaxation. Now, some of you in watching me are thinking of some other ways. There is yoga, a wonderful relaxation tool. Some feel it's exercise. Well, it's both. It's exercise, and it also can be relaxation, deep relaxation. Simply taking a deep breath, as we have earlier in this program, can be very relaxing. In other words, deep relaxation is part of what we call a program to take care, and don't forget, to take care of tension and stress. Manage your diet. Now, this is not a cooking show. Our channel has cooking shows. And basically, I used to do cooking shows. And I enjoyed cooking. I still do. I'm a good cook. And I enjoy good food, and I enjoy well-prepared food. But when we talk about our diet, we are talking about some very simple things. Cutting down on complex carbohydrates, white flour, white bread, cutting down on processed sugar, desserts, ice cream, upping the use of fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, nuts, and proteins. I'm a vegetarian For me, the vegetarian diet works the best. My wife and I both enjoy cooking vegetarian food. We're both very good cooks of vegetarian food, and we enjoy eating vegetarian food very much. In today's world, in the commercial world, in restaurants, it's amazing how many fine restaurants have a very fine menu. In fact, I'm judging restaurants as I go to them now by the presence on the menu of something beside boiled vegetables posing as a vegetable plate. I am finding many chefs doing very creative things with vegetarian food. Watch your water intake. Hydration, very, very crucial. 6 to 8 glasses a day. Very crucial to get that kind of combination. So there we have it, folks. To manage stress, a regular daily regimen. That regular daily regimen includes practicing deep breathing and blow out the tension. We did that today in this program. Exercise, which we didn't do in the program. It's a little hard to do that here, but I would start with walking. If I were you, I'd get a good pair of shoes if you don't have a good pair of shoes, and walk for 15 minutes. Don't even go uphill, just walk for 15 minutes. And then next week, 30 minutes or 25 minutes or whatever, so that you build up over time and build up distance. You build up your own conditioning as you look at stress reduction. Pursue deep relaxation and manage your diet. These are the ways that we manage our stress. I'm hoping that we've given you enough tips today so that you can start your own self-stress management program. These are the keys. They're simple keys. They're something that everybody that's watching me, all of you can do. You know that, and I know that. It's a matter of getting up and doing it and following these very simple 5 steps. I hope you and your family will take these steps. And remember, it's very important, as we remind you here on Concept all of the time, don't try to be perfect, because you can't be anyway. But what we do counsel all of our Concept viewers to do try to do better. That's all we can ask from you, and I ask that today.